Hello guys, this is Ernest Kekeke, wishing you from Lagos, Nigeria. How are you doing? So let's talk about modern view controller. So what does this thing mean, MVC? There's a lot of term MVC. So it's a very straightforward stuff, right? The model is like how would I put it, the blueprint in which if you want to take from the API, the database, etc., depending on the connection you need. So I'm just using API and database in this case. So this is the CU, and you can have as many model you want. So don't get it wrong. You can have as many model you want. It's just like a big company. They can have one CEO or so many CEO depending on what they do. All right. This is a control, right? So this control is like the manager. If the one to insert, imagine this is a sales store right now. Let's say we have a stock. All right. If they want to insert something to the stock based on the blueprint, the CEO have put in place, that is what this control is going to do. Okay. CEO want to insert this in the stock, the CEO has put a blueprint in place. All right. So this control, based on the blueprint, that is what it's going to do. Okay, we are inserting to the database. All right. We are taking, from the customer, from the user to the database. Now, what about we want to take from the stock? The CEO has also put a blueprint in place, all right? So this view is going to, based on the blueprint the CEO has put in place, is going to make the CEO and take whatever they want to take based on the blueprint, and bring it to the customer. And what you should understand is that the CEO has put a blueprint in place. What the manager is going to do based on the blueprint, it depends on the manager, right? So let's say the CEO said, okay, every month you can take up to like let's say 20 stock. Based on the 20 stock, the control manager, every month you can put up to 20 stock, for instance. Based on the 20 stock, the control manager knows what he's going to do with it, right? He can decide, it's okay, I'm going to share this stock into two departments. I'm going to put this in this place, this form and this form. All right. So the control manager knows what to do. Same as the view. All right. Okay, I'm taking 10 stock. Okay, based on the blueprint the CEO has put in place. So based on that, he can say, okay, since we take 10 stock, okay, let's give the customer two stock first. Next time we give him two stock. You know what I'm talking about. So that's just it. So the same thing, the difference between this and this is that like what I said, we can have many views as well, we can have many controllers, but the difference between these two is that this is like a senior manager, right? So this is like a junior manager. So he does not have direct access to the CEO. Anything he wants, that is, this man, if he want to insert something to the database, it go to the CEO directly, right? But if they want to take something from the database, this junior manager have to meet the senior manager, and then the senior manager have to meet the CEO, take what he or she want to take, give it to the junior manager, and then return back to the customer. So that's how this thing works. So I created a simple, uh, work on this. If you look at this, I created two database. One is student, one is company, right? Let's go to this, all right? If you look at the way I did it was this is to connect to the database, all right? This is the database itself. Connection to the database. Imagine this is the database itself, right? So this is the model, which is the CU. Just name it CU. You can name it whatever you want to name it. So this is the model. This is the class. It extends to the database. And there's a structure. You know, based on the database you want to connect to. There's a structure for that, right? So there's a form com function to connect to the database. Insert student, insert new customer, his customers. Are you getting it now? Get all students. So you can discover that this CU is in charge of two database. I can decide to give it as many database I want the CEO to be in charge of. And what I said, we can have many CEO. All right. So let's look at this check class now. This is a CEO, although it does not have any link to the database. Like what I said, based on the company, this CEO is there are some CEO that is in charge of quality control. What this CEO does is in charge of quality control. It's going to check if the product that is coming is clean, if it's empty, if it's equal, if it's valid. Are you getting it now? If it's name, if the password is valid. So this CEO is in charge of quality control. All right, it's independent of the model. Are you getting it now? This model is independent of this other CEO. You can see it now. Now, what does this control does is that this control manager is working with two CEO right now. So it's working with the model CEO, which is they want to insert something to the database, all right? And the it's also working with the quality control CEO, all right? The quality of things is going to insert to the database. It's also going to be checkmate by this CEO, all right? So this is the object for it, all right? This is the object of this is I'm inserting this to the database, right? But the quality control CEO, this is also its object for it. So this control manager is working with two CEOs, so you can work with as many CEO. The CEO are independent of one another. They have different tasks they are doing, all right? We can also have a different CEO that is also connected to the database, controlling different aspects of the database. So that is what is going on right here. So you can see there's no class for these, just a few function, just one function, maybe to return or to to die the program. So you can see what we're going to insert right now is name. So let's go to I've created the index file. It's just a quick one. So let's see what is going on. So if I insert a wrong name or a wrong email, this CEO, let's go to control. This CEO is not going to check it as valid, all right, based on the blueprint that has already been put in place. So that is the manager has to meet all the requirement of the control CEO and the model CEO before they can take anything to the stock, all right. So that is it. So it's not that he's just going to buy something that is bad and put it to the store. So let's look at this uh, control, right? So let me do it real quick. Imagine I type in my name, Ernest. Um, I didn't type in the last name. I type in email. This is my email. Let me remove the last name. Then I type in maybe just a random phone number. Another. Let me just try to submit it. You can see wrong, last name. All right. So if you look at this control, there's a check for names, all right? There's a check, we are checking for the last name, all right? Two means the last name is wrong. Let's see, okay, let's put everything right. Ernest, my email. Let me put my a wrong phone number. Let me just put something that is bad and let me submit. You can see invalid there, right? That is what, oh, sorry guys, that is what the CEO is telling you right now, all right? This is although the chair is not empty, but if you check it, this CEO is saying, the check CEO is telling you that this phone number you're trying to insert is invalid, all right? It's doing its job, all right? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, let me put in a good phone number. Let me just put in password. You know, the CEO is also saying this password does not match. All right. So you can see the check CEO is doing a fantastic job right here. So let me put a password that match and let me submit. You can see the password is not accepted, right? Because there's a blueprint for everything that it is. So let me put a valid password right now. That has up to 8 characters. Decimal and all that, right? Numbers and all that. I mean. It has been inserted successfully, right? Now, if I go back to my database right now, this is the customer. You can see Ernest Kekeke, this that has been inserted successfully. Imagine, okay, I'm trying to insert the same product that has already been in stock. I want to make more money for myself, right? I just want to lie, for instance. Let me put the same this in. I'm using this email as as the primary key on this database. Let me try to put in the same information. User already exists, right? Now this modesty is saying, yeah, you have inside this. Come on, we already have this stock in place. If you look at it this way, you can see it's customer, all right? It's customer, right? Email. So we're trying to check if it's we already have this as a customer. So this CEO is trying to see, now this user has already is already on the stock. So you don't need to come and bring what we already have. No, if you are bringing something, make sure you are bringing something that is new, all right? So that's what the CEO does. I'm gonna give it a full series on MVC model. It's a fantastic way, of doing things. It helps you have to organize your code. If you can see, this is the control. I've not created the view, but it's still the same thing, all right? So this is the check CU. This is the database itself. This might be an API, anything else. This is the model CU, all right? It's in charge of as you can have as many model you want. So that's just it. Now let's try to say, okay, fine. I'm sorry. Let me put in a new this thing. Let me call this one a nose. Let me call this one on a scan. Let's say the nose can at gmail.com.uk. All right. Let me put our phone number. Let's say, what did I just do? The nose can can at gmail.com. Okay, let me put let's say plus 447, 56890, something like that. Let's put a password. Let me just see. Okay, let me try if I can get something off my head. Let me submit. Password did not match. What did I do wrong? Okay, you can see the check CEO is make it makes sure that everything that successfully, right? Now, if you come here now, click on customs again, you can see bonus scan and all that. So the check CEO does a lot of job, and you can see it makes sure that what we are putting on this database is clean. You can see everything is on the lower case. It does the conversion, it does the cleaning, it makes sure that okay, this thing is quality, is good enough, right? It makes sure that everything we are putting on the database is clean. So this is just a quick introduction of MVC. Maybe the next part two of this class it's still the same thing. I'm going to talk about the view. All right. Like what I said, there are two ways you can work on the view. See that the view has an access to the different CEO or it has to meet the senior manager right here. But the best way I would advise you should go with is this one here. Let every manager be on their own. Every manager work with the different CEO based on the model of the company. All right. So thank you guys. My name is Ernest Kekeke, reaching from Lagos, Nigeria.